Hi everyone, thanks for coming by today. You're watching Cards TV and this is Mary. And a friend of mine, Nicole, was asked to do some wedding invitations for a friend, and she's got to make like 100 invitations, and she wants to make them really nice, but she would like to be able to do something that's simple and inexpensive, since she does have to make at least 100. And we had talked about her doing like a postcard style, which is what this is. And all I did to make this was take a piece of white cardstock. Let's move this out of the way. And I cut it in half. And the white cardstock is 8.5 this way by 11 this way. So I cut it in half at 5.5. And then I cut each one of those pieces into a piece that was 4.25 by 5.5. And I experimented by running it through different Cuttlebug folders. This one is called, Stylized Flowers. This is Divine Swirls. And the one that I chose, I'll show you the back. This is the deboss side. This is Floral Fantasy. And then this one right under here, this smaller mat, is Swiss Dots. And I really like the Floral Fantasy because it kind of made like a little frame around where it did the embossing. And it's got these beautiful flowers, and some of the flowers look like hearts. I thought that was really pretty. But that's all you need is a piece of cardstock, which is 4.25 by 5.5. So you can get, for your base for this invitation, you can get 4 out of 1 sheet of cardstock. And I just go to Walmart. I'll show you over here. And I get this big package of cardstock. I don't know if you can see this or not. It's just white. It's 110 weight, and there's 150 sheets in here. And I figure you can do 4 of these out of 2 sheets of this cardstock, which would mean 75 times 4. What is that? Like 600 that you could get out of this pack. And this is like $6. So it's very economical. Of course, Nikki's friend's color is lavender, so I did use some lavender cardstock. But you could go to your local scrapbook store or, Joann's, Michael's, wherever you buy your cardstock, and get your color if you do decide to use a color. You'll have to check with your bride and see if she wants a color or not. And that would add a little bit to it, and then also your ribbon. But it would be very economical. If you think 600 and your paper is $6 for a pack, that's like a penny a piece, I think. I'm not good at math, but I think that's right. But what I wanted to show you, you can choose whichever Cuttlebug folder you want to use for your background. I think that just adds some elegance to it. What I did to put my bow on is I took my Crop-A-Dile to cut my holes, and you can't see the ribbon on the back because I only put the holes through this part. So I've got a mark to show me how far down to come. That's a 1/2 inch, and then I came in 1.5 inches on either side. And then I'm using the big hole, but you, depending on the size of your ribbon. And I line up the center of that hole inside of my Crop-A-Dile, and I just punch my hole out. And I used some, there you can see, there's my holes right there. And I used just some sheer ribbon on this card and tied it in a bow. I just ran it through the back and tied it in a bow. If you're not good at bows, or you don't want a bow, or you don't want to use sheer ribbon, you might want to use colored or whatever, I'm going to show you another way that you can do this if you don't want to do a bow. And let's hope I get it right. Okay, we're going to go in from the front on either hole And this is just some white grosgrain ribbon. And thread it through to the back. And you can see that on the back. Then I'm going to take this piece and cross it over and come back out to the front. And let's hope I can get it in there. I'm all thumbs today. I've been cleaning, so my hands kind of hurt. You know how it is when you have to really scrub things. Okay. And the same thing with the other side. Thread it back through from the back. And when you get it around on the front, it's going to look like this, which I think is just very elegant. And then we're just going to trim our ends off. You can do it at an angle or square or however you'd like it. But that's just another way if you don't like tying bows. Very simple, very pretty. And then you would take your sentiment, put it on your little lavender mat, and put that right under there. And you can see the difference. But let me give you the dimensions real quick. We don't want to run out of time. Your card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. This lavender mat is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. The white mat, which I ran through the Cuttlebug Swiss Dots folder, is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. This smaller lavender mat is 2 1/2 by 3 5/8, and my sentiment mat is 2 1/4 by 3 3/8. And where I found the wording for my wedding invitation, I just Googled wedding invitation wording, and it pulled up lots of sites, and they all had samples for different wording if it was the parents that were inviting the guest, or the bride and groom, or just the bride or just the groom. There were just lots and lots of places you can go to. But I hope this works for you, Nicole. You can change the colors. You know, check with your bride and see what color she's using. But there's a very simple, inexpensive wedding invitation. You can make lots of them, and they do fit inside the A2 envelope very nicely. There you go, guys. And you don't need a Cricut to make this one. And if you don't have a Cuttlebug, you don't even have to do that. It could still look perfectly beautiful and elegant. And just choose what type of bow you'd like. But thanks so much for coming by, guys. I hope maybe this has helped some of you. And I'll see you again soon. Bye now.